morning, everybody. I just wanted to pop on really quickly because there's been a theme that's been coming up for me and the work that I've been doing on myself this week. And it's a very basic theme, but it just keeps presenting no matter what topic I'm really focused on. So some of the work that I've been doing, I've been watching videos and trainings. One of them is on people who drain your energy and how to kind of protect yourself from that. Another one is I've actually been working on some jealousy and kind of comparison competition work, because I found that since I launched this and have kind of been diving in, there's been stuff coming up for me like, oh, that I want to do it like that person, or that person does it better than me, or I kind of want to get to that level now immediately. And it's really forced me to look at myself and try to figure out where that's coming from. And even some of the meditations I've been doing, the theme that just keeps coming up this week is self-love. That really the way to combat all of this is loving ourselves. And it seems so simple, but it's actually a very hard thing to do. So how do we access this love for ourselves? How do we feel worthy? Hi, Danielle. Morning, Tracy. I'm just popping on for a few minutes to share a few little nuggets of wisdom that have been coming through for me. So how do we learn to love ourselves more? Well, meditation puts us in a position where we're more receptive, right? We know that. So it just gives us more space for any kind of messages or love or compassion to come through, so that you can think of it as clearing space to make space. Good morning, love. To make space for the good stuff to come in, clearing out all the clutter, right? So, once we do that, that's where, for me, the Akashic Records comes in. And that's where I have really learned to love myself. And it just pours in. And I love it too, because the other thing that I've been looking into and reading about and doing work on is people pleasing. Because I've been a chronic people pleaser. And I'm getting away from that slowly but surely. And I think that being in the Akashic Records really helps me with people pleasing in a couple ways. One is, so I'm more receptive, right? Because I've been meditating. And then I get into this space of the Akashic Records, and things can kind of flow in better from source, from guides, from angels, from spirit, from my higher self, right? And what I love is that they know what's best. The universe knows what's best. We don't know what's best. We like to think we know what's best, because we're humans and we have stubborn egos and all of that. But spirit knows what's best. So really what we're doing is we're providing ourselves as a channel to kind of bring in whatever needs to come through. And whether we get it or not, whether it makes sense, or whether the person that we're giving it to wants to receive it, doesn't really matter, because the seed is already planted by the universe, by spirit, by source. So I love that, because the work is being done without the pressure for us to know exactly what is this going to look like, what are the steps I have to take, what do I have to say. So I like that, because for me, I've always had a lot of performance anxiety. You know, I want to be perfect. I want to be that straight A student. I want to, be the best at what I do. And I've always put pressure on myself in that area. And what I love about this, and has allowed me to kind of relax and really share much more wisdom, is that this message is not coming from me. And this came up last night, actually, in my intuitive development class with Raylan Sandin. She's from the healing space. And she mentioned this as well. And this is just something that keeps coming up, is that we don't have to decide. We don't have to make these decisions, right? I posted about this a couple days ago or yesterday or something, that I'm terrible at making decisions. It took me like 8 months to figure out what blender I wanted to buy. And my husband literally just put it in the cart at Costco, and he's like, this is what we're getting. I can't take it anymore. So I've always had trouble with decision making, because it comes down to self-love and self-trust, right? Like I didn't trust myself to make even the most basic decisions. And what's nice is that we don't have to decide. I don't have to make these decisions, right? It's not up to me. And so at the same time that I'm not just abdicating responsibility, right? But at the same time that I'm being receptive and not necessarily saying, oh, this doesn't have to be up to me, I can just receive this information from spirit, I'm also even if I don't get it, I'm getting healed at the same time that I'm sitting in that space. And the wisdom that's coming through is so much greater than I was getting when I was trying to force an answer or force a decision. So that's just been really helpful for me. And it was an insight that came through, I think, earlier in the week about the people pleasing in particular, but these messages just keep coming through so strongly. And I thought it was important to share it out there just in case somebody else also needed to hear it. So really the basic message again is it comes back to self-love, that when we're angry, when we feel like we're drained of energy, when we're pissed off at the world, when we're jealous, when we're competitive, we're feeling like we need to please people, it all comes back to us. Look at yourself. If it's a pattern that keeps coming up, excavate that stuff. How do we excavate that stuff? Well, meditate first to make some space. Some people make space by literally clearing their physical space, right? Like cleaning out a closet, cleaning out their living room. And symbolically, it really does. It makes you feel like, oh, I feel freer. I feel like I have more air to be able to bring in the stuff that was kind of held back or cluttered, so that you can think more clearly and bring in this wisdom. So that's one way. Another way is through the Akashic Records. And I know that I mentioned this in my Meditation Mondays, but everybody has a chance to win a free 45-minute Akashic Records session with me by sharing out the Meditation Mondays video or sharing out my event for the Meditation Circle. And if you guys don't want to share it to your pages, that's fine. I was always really hesitant to do that when I started doing this work because I felt like I was being seen and I was weird and people were going to think I was strange. So it took me a while to get to that point. So you can always just like tag 5 friends or something that you think would resonate with this or you'd feel comfortable kind of hearing this message. You can do that as well in either of those posts. And then your name will go into a bowl or a hat. And then I want you to win too, Danielle, because I just want to hang out. Yeah, and then I'll pull it next Meditation Monday. Or I'll forget, like I did this last week, and then I'll post another live afterwards, pulling the name. But at least I remembered after the fact. So anyway, I hope you guys have a fabulous Wednesday. And please drop some likes, drop some hearts, share this out to anybody if you think it's helpful wisdom for them. And let me know if you have any questions or thoughts about self-love, other ways that we can love ourselves. Tracy, you want to win too? Yeah, I really want to hang out with you too. Maybe we can make a date for you and Darren again, like you guys had on Monday, because that was so special and cozy and romantic. We can all get together on a group Akashic Records call. How powerful would that be? I think we'd probably laugh more than anything. But anyway, I love all of you. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. And I'll chat with you later. Okay, have a good day. Bye.